Howdy folks, welcome to episode 4 of our intermission series. And so I basically came home at the end of last episode, and what I wanted to do here was, now that we've got level 7, need to go into the tech tree and we'll unlock the tier 2 drill. And so what we can do now is we can make one of those, because we've got tons of parts, so we should be able to make one of those. And where is it? Here's the tier 2 drill, and I need cables. So I need 1 piece of copper, and yeah, I think I will take this thing for right now because I can. And there we go, there's our cables. Now that I've almost completely cannibalized the entire thing. But yeah, we're probably going to need to do a little bit of drilling, and we'll see. But what I wanted to do was go and scavenge at the different POIs. And so the other thing I need to do with this advanced constructor is make a couple of, we're going to make a couple cargo boxes just so we have tons of cargo space. And I can probably take this stuff out and rearrange it and everything, but we're just going to throw the cargo boxes on here like this and this, and then we're going to jump in here. And I do have fuel, right? I brought fuel with me, yes. And this thing has tons and tons of time left on it anyway. But yeah, we're going to go around. We already did a small outpost, so we're going to go around to some of these. The Crash Titan has 1 million drones on it, and currently they are disabled as far as they're not shooting at you, which is kind of weird. But I don't want to take advantage of that completely now that I know that's what's going on and it's a bug. I don't want to take advantage of it. So we're going to set some waypoints here, and we're going to call it go here first and accept. And that will show us, let's see, where's it going to be? Why is it doing, oh, that's that. Okay, so let's find our marker where it is. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go to this marker, and let me see, is that the right, yeah, that's the right way. Okay, so I'm gonna head over to this marker, and we're gonna loot that, and I will probably just go do all the looting and meet you guys when I'm done, because you've already seen a bunch of looting and we want to get to the small vessel this time around. So I will be back in just a minute. Alright guys, we're back for a minute because we are over at the research outpost beta. I'm looting over here, and I just wanted to show you a little trick here. So there is the advanced constructor there, and underneath that, on this particular place, if you dig under here, you can find the core. And so let's see if we can get rid of the core here. If I actually have a loaded weapon, it helps. But I wanted to show you if I can kill the core someday. Yeah. Wow, this shotgun needs some serious work. Come on. There's one heavy core. Okay, so now not only can you loot this stuff with this thing, so you can pick up the advanced constructor now like that, but you can also, let's see if we can find where the fuel and oxygen tanks are. And I think they are underneath. Are they underneath on this one? Let's see. Let's see if we can find them. I don't know that they actually have it on this one, do they? Well, let me see if I can find them. And I should probably eat too. Let me go eat. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. All right. Okay, here is the fuel. And so what you can do on these is you can withdraw and you click 30, and then you can just right click and and you get a ton of fuel back out of them. And you can do the same thing with the oxygen, is you can tell it you want 200 back, and it will give you 1 tank at a time, or you can tell it you want 2,000 and it'll give you 10 tanks at a time, whatever. You can tell it you want stuff back and get a ton of oxygen. And so I already got, if you look in here, I already got 23 oxygens from the last place. So anyway, I'm going to continue looting, and I will meet you guys back at base. Aha, here is the oxygen, so I will show you guys. And here we go. So you do 200 and you can, there we go. All the sounds. So we got another 20. Anyway, yeah, that's the oxygen. Alright, we are back, and I've got everything looted, and I threw everything into the advanced constructor. I threw a bunch of stuff into the advanced constructor, and I also threw a bunch, I got some ammo, so threw some ammo in there, and I got some more stuff that I threw in the food processor, and I also got some stuff that I threw in the fridge, and I also got some heavy armor, as you will see in my inventory here. And I also got some more boosters. I got so many boosters, my armor locker is totally full with them now. So I put on, because since I'm wearing the light armor, I'm using the mobility and the jetpack boost. So just to get a little bit more speed out of this thing. But anyway, somebody pointed out that you can actually, you know, do this and get your XP for picking your garden. So I thought I would do that for you guys on camera, just to yeah, just to as a reminder that yes, you can definitely, that is a useful, especially at the beginning. Wow, you get a decent amount of XP for that too. You get what, 60 per? Yeah, so not bad, not bad. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're going to get a small vessel going, and so I'm probably going to take apart the hovercraft in order to get more parts, because now that we have the capability to make a small vessel, we don't really need a hovercraft anymore. And so I will probably take the hover engines and the thrusters, and then the other stuff is, and the RCS, and then the other stuff pretty much translates to being small vessel parts. So I can disassemble these and I can throw them on the small vessel and that kind of thing. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to queue up, let's see, we will get the advanced constructor. So for a small vessel we need six engines. We already have those parts. We need oxygen tank, and we have a cockpit, and we have lights, and we have those. And so let's get, did I just queue up? I just queued up. Okay, I just queued up 4 of the HV thrusters instead. Let's do this. We'll do that RCS, 6 of those thrusters, and I hope I didn't lose those components that I just canceled there. But that should be, yeah, we'll throw an extra oxygen on there because we're going to go into space. And so that should be what we need to get a functioning small vessel. So yeah, I'm gonna let that, and actually I need to turn it back on so it'll craft. But yeah, I'm gonna get that going, and yeah, I will be back when that is ready and we can start building a small vessel. Alright guys, we're back, and I think I'm pretty much ready to build. And so what I wanted to also do is, we've got a bunch of tomatoes and raw meat and some water jugs and steel plates. So yeah, a bunch of the stuff that we looted, we can make some canned food, some canned meat, which lasts forever, so it's great for adventure tools, for adventuring. That and the canned vegetables and the emergency rations, although these are harder to make for what you get out of them anymore. It used to be that they were awesome because you could stack them and they were the only food that could stack, but yeah, now it's... Anyway, we have all of the stuff we need to do to get started on a, let's turn on our light here, a small vessel. And so we're going to do that. And one of the cool things they did here is they also made the cockpits into one block, so you can select whichever cockpit you want out of all the different blocks, which is really cool. And I think I'm going to go with this one. I think we're going to go with this one this time, if we can. There we go. And so yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on, let's see, and since a bunch of stuff now creates heat, I'm going to try to keep things away from away from the cockpit for the most part. And I'm going to pretty much go with my typical thing where it's going to be like that. And we're going to put some thrusters on here. So let's get these going that way. And we'll do this. So we'll put our thrusters here, put our other two thrusters here, and then we can put a couple of them going downward. So let's see if we can get that. Let's see, what do we have? Disassemble. And we're going to get, let's see, I'll put those here and here. So we'll put our two down thrusters here. Is that down? That's up. So we'll put our downs here, and we'll put our ups. Let's see, where do we want to put those? We can put those in the middle here, like that. So now all we need is backward and forward. And I think we will go this way. And so like this, and we'll do two backward. See? And we got to figure out where to put two forward thrusters, and I'll probably just throw them on the front and like that. And we also have a Gatling gun, so we'll throw that in here. There we go. So there's our front of our ship. And let's see, probably place some blocks around there and everything. And what else do we have? We have ammo boxes and oxygen. I should probably make an oxygen dispenser too. So let's do that. And let's make an oxygen dispenser. Let's see, where is our constructor? And I don't have that researched yet, do I? Okay, so we're gonna find the oxygen station. No, it's unlocked. Okay, so where is it in the constructor? We do small vessel. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna throw one of those on there too, as well as all of this stuff and our lights and everything. And let's see, we'll get this. So let's see where we can put this. See, we can put an O2 station, because it does need to be accessible. Oh, and it's that time of day. It's 1 frame per second hour. And I can put this on the bottom. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that on the bottom once this thing is hovering. So we're going to put, let's see, we'll put our ammo box in here. We're going to get our cargo boxes here. So we'll do this and this and this. And yeah, actually we can just put this down on the bottom here. So like that. Wrong way. There we go. Okay, so we can put that down there, and we'll put a door on there too, so it's accessible. And let's see, we got oxygen here, and I think that is everything. And so then we can just use blocks to contour our ship and cover everything up. So let me see what I can do here as far as, let's get a symmetry axis put up. The green one, there we go. And we will go like this, and we'll see if we can get something cool looking. Whoops, I don't want to do that. I don't. Thank you. And that's the great thing about the symmetry axis, is it allows you to double your screw ups. So so there's that. And so yeah, let's see if we can get a nice little, there we go. And then we can put these along the sides. And there we go. And then this, we're gonna, let's see, we're gonna bring that up, I think. So we'll go like this, and that needs to be this way. There, like that. And So we'll put it here, and then we're gonna taper down like that, and then we'll put some solid blocks here. And if you want to reset the block shapes, what you can do is you can split a stack or add stuff to a stack or move it back and forth or just pick it up and put it back down. But whenever you move a stack or change a stack of blocks like that, it will actually reset the shapes of them. And just an FYI. But I want to keep this for this purpose. We'll get that and we can leave that open. And then we can, yeah, I do need to actually split this. So now when I put it down, as you see here, it will actually be square blocks again. So we're gonna, let's see, we're just gonna block that in, and we'll do this, and let's see here, we're gonna put these like that, or we're gonna use this. Yeah, we'll use this. We'll try to contour this for the most part, and like that. And then we can put this one here. Come on. There we go. And then we can put our, why don't we split this stack here? We'll put these here. And then we can put some stuff across the back. So, and across the top. So let's get these. And yay, they're lined up for me. All right, so we can do this. And get this piece. There we go. And we can do the same here. I guess I could have done that first. But yeah, we'll do that. And I think that is a pretty pretty much the basic ship. Let me see if we can do this too. And I can probably put some armor across the bottom if I feel like it, but honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't plan on getting shot from the bottom. So we can do that. And yeah, we could just leave this open, because if I'm getting shot from the bottom and the back, and then I've got bigger problems. And so the one other thing I want to do here is, I guess I need to research it, is we need to put on some landing gear. So we'll unlock those, and we'll put some of those in the thingy, and we will get our ammo box loaded up while we're waiting for that to craft. We can turn off the symmetry axis too, and we'll get this thing fueled up too. There we go. And where is our ammo box? There it is. So we've got ammo, and the other thing we need to do is put on some lights and stuff. So let's throw on some lights here. Let's put one on this side. Whoops. One on, which block was that? It was the second flat block. Okay, so the second flat block. And we can put one on the back here. There we go. And I will probably leave the spotlight. I don't know. I might put it. Yeah, I might put it here. It's a good place for that. Let's see. Yeah, it's not in our way. Okay. So we have. Oops. I think I have a hole here. Let me fill this up too. There we go. Okay. And I could probably even paint this thing. But yeah. And actually, you know what? Let me see. Let's get the landing gear on this. So let's get this hovered. And we will put the landing gear on. Let's see what we've got for options. I kind of like the taller ones. Let's see if we can fit them on there. Will it? Does it not want to let me? That is weird. Okay. All right, so we're going to put them here. Why is it doing that? Huh. Okay, that's really strange. All right, and I don't know why the landing gear are always backwards whenever you go to select them, but they're always backwards. At least in my estimation, that's backwards. Okay, so we have landing gear now, and we have ammoed up, and we're armored. And so yeah, I'm going to quickly make a paint gun and paint this thing up, and I will be back in just a minute. Alright guys, we are back, and let's get this thing going. Let's put our oxygen in here. So let's fill our oxygen. There we go. Cool. And we are fueled up and ready to go. So I made an extra drill charge as well, and so I think we should, and they actually, if you look here, I think they also, whoops, I think they also spiced up the interior of some of these cockpits, or maybe I just haven't seen these in a while. But anyway, we're going to head out into space, so this is going to be our first trip into space. I suppose I should load my guns. And yeah, cool. Cool. So yeah, I got a few of those weapons kits, which I mentioned in episode 1 that people were losing their minds over there, and I actually think it's kind of funny that it's such a big deal, because like we have, you know, triceratops and a bunch of dinosaurs and stuff like that that obviously are probably not going to be in the final game. They're just placeholders, and you know, because that's the models they have, so they're just using them as placeholders until they can do something else. And I think we're going to head to the moon so that we can get some, whatchamacallit, let me see here on the map. Where is, yeah, the moon is of course on the other side of us. On the other side, there it is. Okay, so yeah, anyway, you know, it's just a placeholder, and people are freaking out that you need a weapons kit to build a shotgun or whatever, and it's like, well, it may be just a placeholder, and so, you know, it might turn out that those are going to be, you know, some cool alien laser weapon or plasma weapon or whatever, blaster. So, you know, the kit would actually make sense in that case, and so for the moment it may be a placeholder, but it's just I don't know why that is such a big deal, but the, you know, some of the other placeholders are just completely ignored. And it's kind of the same thing with space right now, where people are like all worried that, you know, dying in space or whatever is not realistic compared to, you know, when you get out of when you run out of food. It's like you don't die, you know, instantly in real life when you run out of food either. So why is it all of a sudden a big deal, you know, that you've run out of that you've run out of oxygen or whatever, or that you've frozen to death or whatever so quickly? Yeah, you know, or that you've died of space exposure so quickly is suddenly unrealistic and a big deal and immersion breaking, but starving in 30 seconds is not. But anyway, speaking of that, I completely forgot to switch my suit and to put on EVAs and everything. So we're going to see what happens here. I guess we're going to find out what happens when I jump out of my ship and try to mine something. So yeah, we're going to fly around, and I'm not sure what I even need here. I don't think I need much on the moon, but I think what we need is to get a capital vessel going, and so I do need, I think, some sathium in order to make all of the engines and stuff. And I don't want to use the thingy. Are these guys going to, yeah, these guys are going to ignore me too. I don't want to use the blueprint factory to do that, so I'm actually going to go find some sathium and actually mine it. So yeah, I will let you guys know when I find a deposit. And there we go, there is a sathium deposit. So we're going to take out these minigun drones. There we go. Alright, we're going to take these guys out. And let's see, let's get over here. So I flew past what I think is the drone base, so I marked it with a marker because it didn't actually discover it. And let's see how we do here. Let's put on our helmet and let's see how we do here as far as... Wow, that's a lot of radiation, isn't it? Okay. It's a lot of radiation. And let's see what we can do with our minigun drone here. Come on, there we go. Cool. And yeah, I might want to build a... So I guess if you're going to do this kind of thing, you might want to build instead build a... Let's go take this guy out too, just so that we're not messing around here. All right, but yeah, you might want to build an enclosed ship instead. So let's see here. The nice thing about the moon is there's no wildlife to attack you. So at least when you're looting stuff and you're mining and everything, you're not worried about that. But yeah, let's do this, and I suppose I can go home and make some or get some anti-radiation pills too. But I'm going to see how much of this I can get mined before I start taking damage or anything. Let's see. See what kind of sathium we can get. Because yeah, that is some serious... Come on, sathium. That is some serious radiation levels compared to, like, what's on the planet and stuff. No, it's down here somewhere. Probably use the... I can use this to get there faster. See, yeah, there we go. Now it's there. Alright guys, we have 250 of the sathium, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to grab a few of these crystals before we leave, since we're here, and we actually can. And so I'm going to grab some of these. Here we go. And really should change my mouse macro back. I've got a different mouse macro, so I don't have the spam T, the auto spam the T thing. And it's going to kill my wrist if I keep doing that. So yeah, I should switch it back. But anyway, let's get these, and there's another field over here. Yep. And I don't know at what point I start getting radiation sickness, but I don't want to find out, and I don't want it to be something that starts eating away at my health until I get home, at which point I'm kind of, you know, if I lose my ship in space, I'm kind of in trouble. So yeah, we're gonna head back, and let's see, here's jetpack. Come on. So yeah, we're gonna head back, and let's see what we've got here. We picked up 22 of those. So let's look at the map real quick. Let's look at the sector map, and we're here. So this is pretty cool. This whole thing, I didn't recognize any of the names of the planets here. If you see Jorah, this is the one we need to go to, and it's 16. It's only 16 away, so actually we already have enough pentaxid to get there. And it looks like these are... It looks like these you can only get to in one direction or something. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, what we need to do is we need to go back home and build a capital vessel and take it to this place, and then I should probably, I think I need to get to level 10 before I even get a capital vessel anyway. But yeah, we need to get to level 10 because we need like rocket launchers for this thing at least in order to try to attack a space POI. Because it's not going to be easy trying to do that the other way. So anyway, that's going to be it for episode 4. Join me in episode 5 where we will do that. We will go build a capital ship and see if we can get over there and try to find that POI. So join me in episode 5 and we will see you then. Later.